Hello, hello. This is Literary Ghost, and this is my first video, I would say. This is my sixth take, and the last take of this video, went up to an hour and a half. Um, Luckily, I didn't, like, I didn't get too far within the game, so yeah, this will serve as an introduction to the channel, although I will be making a more introductory video as well. This is sort of just like a tutorial of how to play Hoi4, and it's primarily for my girlfriend and to get her started. So we're gonna go single player, new game, select scenario, 1st Jan 1936, brief history, gathering storm, dark times are coming. We're gonna select scenario, and we're gonna go down to Austria. So, as I've gone through this quite a few times, I did make some poor decisions on the run that I actually got like an hour and a half into, so we'll fix those. I'll give some historical context for some of this stuff, but we are going to be restoring the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and as far as I've seen, it's kind of a, I don't know if I'd say difficult, but it's an interesting process. I thought there'd be more fighting involved, but there wasn't, so, you know. So brief history. Still shaken by the 1934 self-elimination of the parliament and the subsequent assassination of Chancellor Engelbert Dollfuss, tensions are still high within Austria, bound by the strict Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye and enduring an economical crisis. The Austrian leadership under Chancellor Kurt find themselves facing decisions on a monumental scale. Accept their fate, should Germany come for them, resist to the bitter end, diplomatically or militarily, or look to the past. An empire she was, an empire she shall be. An empire she shall be, because we're gonna reform the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And yeah, we're gonna kick these guys out of party. We're not keeping this guy around. He's going. He's going. We're keeping Otto. We're gonna bring in Otto von Habsburg and have him take over. And let's start. So this will be Iron Man Austria. This was the save file that me and my girlfriend were playing on. We've gotten a bit further ahead, but like just around here. So Iron Man Austria, and we should be in soon. Alright, so we are now in Austria. Now the first thing I'm going to go over is research. When you're starting the game, you should be focusing on basic machine tools, construction, and electronic mechanical engineering. These three will serve you for the rest of the game, and they'll help you get your industry in order. And especially for Austria, which actually, like, the industry in this country is horrible. I'm gonna be so real. It's not good. Not in a good place. Alright, we're gonna go down to military factories. We only have one. We're gonna put it on infantry equipment because that's all we really need. And then we have some troops. We're just gonna order them up. I don't really like who their leaders are. I don't like their uniforms. I wish that there was an alternative. I would say that, like, okay, I did, like, repeat this over and over again, but if, like, you guys want, I'm more into learning about the First World War, since I feel like the second one was really the unnecessary sequel, and there were a lot of lessons that we should have learned from the first that, unfortunately, nobody took to heart. By nobody, I mean this over here. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm completely down to yeah. So what I'm doing here is, if you click on the general and you click on the front line and you shift click here, then you can make a like a front line where the troops are evenly spread out. So it's less clumped together. We don't have any troops, and we won't be like doing anything with the military right now because we're still bound by the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye. But the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go down national focus. These are the story of your country. Our ultimate goal is to go down, reinstate the Herrenhaus, legacy of an empire, and then we're gonna go all the way to the better German state. This is our primary goal. And yeah, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna join the Allies, and you know, hopefully, I don't know if we can take leadership from the United Kingdom, but hopefully we can. We're gonna go down Royal Alliance, and we're gonna reclaim Habsburg, and we're gonna build an Austrian future and get our Second Brothers War done. You know. So, yeah. Last time I got up to this focus, but yeah, the first one we're gonna do is regulate the finance sector, because we're gonna need to get from this to industrialization effort and get ourselves a stronger economy. The Austrian economy is still struggling despite our best efforts to rebalance it. If nothing is done, we fear that another full-scale economic crash with the accompanying hyperinflation might soon be upon us. It is about time we take back control of the financial sector. Absolutely. So we're gonna work on finance. What I did here was I built 5 civilian factories here and 1 here, just so that we have something going. It's gonna take a while until our production is actually good, because we have a bunch of horrible national spirits. These can be good or bad. I don't like this one. We're gonna be recovering from economic depression. This will get worse and then it'll get better. And I did something really terrible with this one, but we'll fix it this time, because we kind of need to. But yeah, I think last time I did go pretty successful, but I'll stop yapping and I'll start playing. So we played the game, our troops are moving, our focus is going, and we're waiting for this to take up. I think last time I made the mistake of like trying to boost civilian factory construction. I want to get more economic advisors, and I want to save up some political power for getting Czechoslovakia on our side and getting Hungary on our side. Those 2 guys are kind of important. So we're going to regulate the finance sector, and we get to decide the fate of the bank. 4. Perfect. So, the fate of the Creditenstalt Bankieren. It has come to our attention that the 1934 bank merger, where the recapitalized Creditenstalt took over all assets and liabilities of Weiner Bankfirm, as well as viable operations of near Australia's Inkomstgesellschaft, has come back to bite us, and this has greatly hampered our economic development and inadvertently created a sort of monopoly on the financial sector. Seeing as we are now regulating the sector, how should we approach this situation? I don't know. We could get double production, half of both, or I think this is the best one. We need to reduce our consumer goods so we have access to more factories. So we're gonna pick the middle option, which lets us sort of get everything in control. I don't know when we'll be able to do this. I want to do it soon, but we're gonna go down industrialization effort. The Austrian industry sector has weathered a difficult situation surprisingly well, with high rates of unemployment. This could also prove an opportunity. By expanding our industries, we could tackle 2 issues at once, both increasing our industrial capacity and reducing the unemployment. Alright, so we're gonna keep going, and I'm hoping to get this guy kicked off soon, but unfortunately we have to stick with him for a little bit longer. I think after the war, he was a school teacher in America. If you were to ask me personally, I don't know if, you know, I don't know. Sultan also submits to talent demands, perhaps unsurprisingly remain, the Sultan also has accepted talent demands for creation, while the our government held out hope of avoiding occupation. It became increasingly clear that the colonial powers of the region were not becoming to their aid, nor would neighboring Ethiopia be able to spare military personnel to support them. With the situation so bleak, the government vowed to Italian pressure to spare the people becoming the victims of unnecessary bloodshed. Italian forces are now moving into the small nation to take up new positions on the border with Ethiopia. It is unclear whether the occupation will be permanent or how it will impact the wider Italian conflict with Ethiopia. Unsurprisingly, unfortunately. And yeah, that's unfortunate for Ethiopia. And yeah, like let's get going with industrialization. And yeah, I'll go into a little bit of the background of Austria at this point. So after World War I, they had the strict Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye imposed on them, which, as you can see, is... Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what we needed. We're gonna cover the payouts because if we don't do this, then it gets harder for us later. So we will cover the payouts. Following shortly after the death of their beloved General Director Wilhelm Berliner, Phonics Insurance is running into further troubles. Falsified balance sheets have brought to the government's attention by newly appointed director Eberhard Reinkonges, exposing a deficit dating back to 1929, which is upwards of 250 million shillings. The company has declared bankruptcy and has immediately ceased operations. The ever so popular reward participant insurance has come to an abrupt end, causing outcries from many of those who have come to depend on the insurance payouts. That's unfortunate. We will cover the payouts. Unfortunately, we lose our 100 political power, but we'll get that back. And I think we can cancel this and go down economic resuscitation because we kind of need that. And yeah, we lost Phonics Insurance and we got covering for Phonics Insurance. We need economic resuscitation. So I lose 7 days of progress, but I think that's something we kind of needed to lose. And yeah, we'll keep going down this one now, and then we'll go down like the usual stuff. I just want to get this done as early as possible because it takes about a year for you to take the next focus down in, and I don't want to wait longer time to do stuff. But as for the historical, that's worrying. Germany stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in clear violation of the Treaty of Versailles. The local population cheered the German soldiers on, while the diplomatic reactions from France and Britain have so far been muted. It is no more than the Germans walking into their own backyard, a political commentator in Britain observed. Worrying. Alright, so just give me a brief moment, and let's get back to it. So, the historical sort of circumstances of this dude is that the strict Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye was enforced on Austria, which sort of broke apart the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and it limited Austria's number of troops to 30,000. If you check here, we have about 32,000 troops in the army. So yeah, and this guy was very strictly about abiding by the treaty. I mean, I don't really consider him to be like one of the good guys. Because, yeah. But yeah, so the Austro-Hungarian Empire was sort of dissolved. The guy that we're going to bring, Otto von Habsburg, his father, Karl von Habsburg, had actually gone to Budapest and met with Miklos Horthy. So we'll see Otto von Habsburg soon, but Karl von Habsburg was the last, Habsburg emperor of Austria-Hungary. And he went to this guy and he was like, make me king. And then this guy was like, no, everybody else would declare war on us if we did. And so that didn't really happen. But yeah, and then later on there would really be no real king of Hungary because no Grand Regent Miklos Horthy. He was I believe a part of the navy. They have no navy. So it's there's some little funny things in history I feel that are kind of interesting, but oh yeah, that's we should be worried. The Turkish Soviet Union created on repulsing intent. So yeah, okay, good for Turkey. The recent remilitarization of the Rhineland has caused great worry among our people. Within our government, the question is being raised: could we be next? Though the Führer has continuously assured that annexing Austria does not lay within his interest and must continue, that such action may only be entirely out of the question. We should prepare for the worst. But I don't think I can do so at the moment. The risk is low right now, but we kind of need our credit-installed bank first. Another thing is this guy's a noob trap. Do not get this guy. Don't get this guy. I mean, I don't think you should anyways if you read this. We're gonna go for this guy, and we'll have the option to get Mises eventually. I don't know where Mises is. That's Miser, not him. Where's Mises? What does this guy require? Okay. I don't know, there should be a guy named Mises who we'll be able to have eventually. And he'll help us boost our economy as well, but we're going for this guy first. He can help us immensely, but we also need the credit installed bank when we can get it. recovering for the phonics insurance, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But this will let us get recovering from depression, which will help our economy. And then we'll sort of... Alright, that is done. We'll devalue the shilling next, which gives us much needed political power. I don't know if I should... Yeah, we should do this first, because, this will, like, get us down our path quickly. And, yeah, we need the political power as well. So we're going to speed through this. And we should look at if any of this is getting close to done. This is getting close to done, so we'll wait until this is finished. But yeah, so the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye was, I believe, much stricter than the Treaty of Versailles. It kind of made Austria landlocked, and it took away, like, regions like Istria. Istria is, like, here. So it didn't really have a coast. I don't know if, like, Italy took these regions because they didn't want Austria to have it or something. I don't remember, though. Like, I don't know. So, yeah. But anyways, we'll probably be getting, like, this back and maybe, like, the regions that Austria-Hungary had on Italy. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, yeah. I would do this, but I'm kind of scared. I don't think it's a good idea right now. And the risk is low for now. But, you never know. We're going to devalue the shilling. Yeah, the inflation rate is super high. The inflation after World War I was actually crazy. Like, I remember when we were learning about this in the, well, I should probably give some context. I'm from Canada. I live in the chicken wing. If you sort of piece this together, that's the chicken wing. I live in the chicken wing. I live in southern Ontario, somewhere around here. I don't know where. It's close to Toronto. I go to Toronto very frequently, but I'm not from there. But yeah, I'll rep Toronto. You know, I'm not. I'll rep Toronto. What, like 100,000 subscribers, and I'll reveal where I'm from. You know what? I'll do that. But I'll rep Toronto until then. So yeah, we learned a little bit about like both world wars. And I would later learn a little bit more about it through my time in university. But like the inflation after World War I was crazy. Like people were just, money was worthless, and people would just use it like as fuel. They would burn it, and yeah. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of lessons that we need to learn from war that we don't ever really learn. Also, this little area over here is claimed by Hungary. Oh, wait, they don't have any claims right now, but I believe historically they claimed this as part of their little thing. I think in World War II they took this, and then they took this, and then they lost it all at the end of the war. I mean, like, I don't really see where, like, where that would have gone. Like, you lose a war, then, you know. Fighters Aces Fall from Grace, horrible. Ace Godwin von Bromowski has been killed in a violent crash together with a Dutch flight student that he was training over. That's unfortunate. Von Bromowski was the most successful fighter ace of the mighty Lufttruppen, credited with 35 solo air victories, 12 shared victories, and further 8 unconfirmed victories. He took part in both the Great War and the 1934 Civil War in the Federal State of Austria. He served us well. Rest in peace. All right. So we're gonna devalue the shilling and get some political power off of that. Perfect. We done that. Now we're gonna go down industrialization effort, which I usually go down earlier, but unfortunately, we don't really have the facilities for that right now. Alright, we want to get this up. This will be done soon. Who cares about navies? That's so, oh my god, I didn't even see that last time. That's hilarious. Because we don't have any. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. Insert the Captain America. No, not Captain America. It was the actor for Captain America. What's his name? Bro, Chris Hems? No, it's the other Chris. Bro, please don't I don't know, crucify me. I know if my girlfriend is watching, then she would probably crucify me for getting Captain America wrong. What was his name, bro? I don't remember. Please. Oh, do we do this? Or do we do this? I think the permanent 10% construction speed is better. Oh, and we get Myzes too. Oh, we can get Myzes. So we do have Myzes available. I didn't know he was available that early. I think we should go down the credit installed bank first, just so we have some more factories. When do we get Austrian recovery? Oh, yeah, that's kind of late. And we have devalued the shilling until April of next year, which is unfortunate. We'll take. I don't know. I genuinely can't say who is the better option. I think it's probably better to take the credit installed bank, just because it'll help us get some more factories up, which we'll see soon. Yeah, we have 7 factories working now. And this will be finished in August, unfortunately. But once we get 15 factories, it'll be much easier to build infrastructure and whatnot, which I'll go into as well. But yeah, it's a very numbers focused game. Even when we get into army design and stuff, it's very heavy on the numbers. We don't really have an army until later. Oh, basic machine tools is done. I forgot to pay attention to that. We're gonna do dispersed industry 1. This is usually the better option to take, because it protects your production efficiency, which is when you're making a gun, you have this little bar over here, and if you switch this to an upgraded version, it'll get horrible. You're gonna lose a bunch of production, and that's why it's kind of yeah. But yeah, I think at some point he's gonna try. The bad guys up here are gonna try and enforce this dude on us, and we have to say that no, we are not getting this guy in our cabinet, even if we lose 100 political power. I don't know if I only played this country once to resist what inevitably happened in real life. But yeah, I'm so I'm gonna be so for real. I'm scared. I'm still scared. I was scared then. I'm scared now. All right, so we did those 3 focuses on this side, and we're gonna move down to repeal the May Constitution. The so-called May Constitution, installed by Engelbert Dollfuss in 1934, has hampered the politics of the federal state of Austria for the last few years. Political parties have been banned, stripping the nation of all possibilities of change for the better. We must repeal this unjust constitution if our country is ever to flourish again. So this'll kind of give us more political power. It'll get rid of this spirit, and we'll get on the way to getting the Herrenhaus back and bringing back my goat Otto von Habsburg. The Habsburgs have a pretty interesting history as well. There was times where they controlled Spain, the Netherlands, Italy, I think even. They had the HRE. I think then the most, I guess, famous Habsburg would probably be Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was killed in Sarajevo, I believe. And also, another thing I will say, I will try and give my historical context, which, I'm fairly certain is based on reliable sources, but I'm not, actively reading from something right now. This is just stuff that I have off the top of my head. And I do encourage you to look into reliable sources. Don't go for, what someone recommends as, an alternative source. look into the thing that the most amount of people I feel agree on. Like, it's vetted by multiple primary sources, secondary sources. Like, yeah. I think there's a real issue with history and like just people completely altering reality, sort of. Uh, I do encourage you to do your due diligence. And if I'm wrong, just correct me. Like, please. I am like I don't even live in this part of the world. I've never even been to this part of the world. I am like I'm here right now, bro. Like I'm mentally and physically here. I'm a rep Toronto though, for real. But yeah, I'm gonna be so real. Like, do your due diligence. Like, don't just trust someone's word on doing something. Or yeah, you gotta be diligent. You gotta be yeah. Um, I think we could station garrisons. I mean, this might be a good idea. We could do this. Or we could also station... I think stationing dudes might be a good idea. We'll do this one. Just so we're having something going in the background. Although I really do want to take... I want to take some politicians, like... Because we need to staff out our cabinet. Especially the 10% buff to construction speed. I think that would be nice. But as you'll see, as we get our research done, like, we'll get some construction speed as well. Perfect. I'll go into spy agency later. I would go into spy agency like now, but I don't think it's really necessary. Because we have like 8 factories, and if I spend time building a spy agency, I'm gonna like lose time I could have spent building up my industry. It's not an easy position for us at the moment. Perfect. Repeal the May Constitution. Now we're gonna go down Reichsbund der Österreicher. As our nation recovers from the political isolation that we have endured, it is no surprise to see political groups emerging as people finally dare to speak their mind. The legitimatist Reichsbund der Österreich is one such group. Conveniently, their political agenda overlaps with what we have planned for the nation. We should make sure to make the most of this cooperation. Alright. I'm really looking forward to getting this guy out of power. I'm kind of tired of looking at his face. I'll be real. We need a new, fresh, young lad to take over this country and steer it in a direction that will be new, you know. No longer the same old. Angetreten! So we're getting our political power. So yeah, Jesse Owens was a pretty cool guy. I think his life after the Olympics was it wasn't, I would say, like, I mean, how good can it be in like America at this period of time? Like, I don't think I don't think this era was particularly great for people of color. But yeah, Jesse Owens was a pretty cool guy. I think he would spend some time I don't know. I don't know if it was with like horse racing or something like that. I don't know. He was a pretty cool guy, and I think it's important to remember the great athletes of the past too. Yeah, the games are concluded, and what else? Oh yeah, China. They're gonna get into their war with Japan. I believe. Oh, they still have the old focus tree? I thought the new one just released. Okay, that's unfortunate. But I think they did rework, they probably did rework some of this stuff. But it looks like they kept the old focus tree, but how come? That's okay. I mean, I don't have the DLC, so I can't really say anything. I'm gonna wait till Christmas. I'm gonna be so for real. And yeah, maybe I'll go into it if there's enough I don't know. I'm at 0 subscribers right now, like as of recording this video. So if there's people that are interested, then I'm down. But just I need people to actually watch this for me to purchase and play stuff. I have a huge library of games though, and as a result, when I'll go over my like proper channel introduction thing, I'll probably play Skyrim, because I was originally gonna play this War of Mine, which I did yap about a lot in the previous 1 hour of me recording, which is a very anti-war game, and I really like it because it really shows the struggles of the average person in war. Um, Finding shelter, figuring out how to survive, keeping yourself warm, dealing with children. It's really, really like, I believe all the money that they make from that game goes directly to anti-war and like all that stuff. Um, but yeah, so yeah, like correct me if I'm like wrong on anything historically, but I do recommend playing this War of Mine. I might play it on this channel, assuming that there's enough support. We're gonna put Julius Robb because I think he's the best bet for now. Alright, we're gonna get this focused down soon. Perfect. That should make us close to reinstating the Hearn House. Much like we expected, our people are expressing a wish to return to the old times. There's no need for a clearly flawed system that could be abused like the peoples did in the self-elimination of the parliament in 1934 anymore. The single-person rule was always a safe and well-received system back in the dual monarchy. It's time we bring it back. I don't know about this. I don't think single-person rule is ever a good thing. The dual monarchy was an interesting time because it separated Austria and Hungary into two separate sort of states. Before that was the Austrian Empire, and I believe Austria-Hungary formed as a result of Franz Joseph von Habsburg, who I don't know. I think history would probably remember him as a sort of like, I don't know if failure is the right word, because he was in charge of the Austrian Empire, and I believe he was born into Metternich's, like Clemens von Metternich's reign of Europe. And after that, it was just the revolutions of 1848, like all that chaos. And then there was the war for German not really a war for German unification, but like a series of 3 wars for German unification, which began with Schleswig-Holstein. Schleswig-Holstein. So yeah, these 2 regions were where like the stuff sort of started, with Otto von Bismarck taking those, and then he went to war with Austria with the blessing of Napoleon III, so that he could kind of kick them out of any sort of German unification. And then the final war was against France for this region over here called Alsace-Lorraine. And yeah, very iron-rich. And yeah, this made France very revanchist after that. And they took it back, obviously, and they have it till today. But yeah, we should probably discuss, since we're going to be going down the focus over here, the better German state, we should probably discuss not Austrian unification, I mean German unification. So, there were historically, like, I guess 2 real contenders, which was Austria-Hungary and Prussia, which is up here. It does not exist anymore, because it was, like, Prussia contained these 2 territories, and they did control a lot of the land that had, like, large Polish majorities, because of the Polish partitions, where the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was broken up by Austria-Hungary, Russia, and Germany. Not Germany, Prussia. It's easy to get those 2 confused, kind of. But yeah. But in 1848, which is very interesting to me, there was a homegrown movement, not by, like, the royals or, like, the monarchists, but by, like, liberal intellectuals and, like, I guess really just regular people to unify Germany, and the flags of the modern-day Germany are actually on the colors of the 1848 revolution, which is actually really cool to learn about. And I think it's just very interesting when you know, the people have a sort of way of changing things. I really do think that's an interesting alternate history thing. Like, what if the 1848 revolution succeeded? Like, what kind of state would have been born out of that? Um, I know Otto von Bismarck was actually very anti 1848, and then because I don't think he liked, he had a thing where he didn't really like the Austrian Germans, and mostly because they were Catholic, and I believe Prussia was predominantly Protestant, and I believe Bavaria, which is this little region here. Is there a little bit of this that's a part of it? I think so. Yeah, but like Bavaria was very Catholic, but they joined because when Bismarck was about to go to war with France, France was actually planning on invading through these southern German states, and while these ones were predominant, well, I think it was mainly Bavaria that was predominantly Catholic. They sort of joined the North German Confederation and formed eventually the German Empire. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get back to the game. I hope the history lessons aren't too boring. I think it's just interesting, especially when you come to discussions of like nation formation and stuff. And yeah, I think like it's just that the whole like sort of rise and fall and like the culmination of historical events. It's like it's very interesting to look at. I think there's a lot of lessons there that we don't take to heart, unfortunately, like war bad. I'm gonna be so real. Uh, I don't think enough people really understand. Um, and yeah, it's such a also like such a distanced thing that is to be a nation. Like if I look on a map, I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm from, but it's not like I am all of Canada, right? I'm a single unit who lives like in this area, so it's kind of, you know, interesting in a way. So yeah. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, sorry for my delay. I think I was gone for like 3 minutes, so unfortunately, like I don't think it'll really change anything in the video, because the audio will probably sync up. It's just possibly at the end there might be a bit of an issue. But yeah, we're gonna get started. But yeah, there's like a 3-minute sort of, I guess, lag between. I'll check and like I'll maybe delete the little pause so that the audio syncs back up. And we are going to finish that. Perfect. So we have Otto von Habsburg in power, and he will do great things for us. So, first thing we're going to do is Legacy of an Empire, then we're going to do Carrying the Crown, then we're going to do Rebellious Rearmament, and after that I would do Demand Hungarian Submission. So, Legacy of an Empire, while we are currently but a shadow of our past as a mighty empire, nothing says that we cannot aspire to rebuild what we once were. By stoking monarchist sentiments in our nation, we can prime it for becoming a powerful monarchy once more. Start. And that is exactly what we're going to do. So, we have 70 political power, but I kind of want Mises, because he'll give us the support we need. And yeah, we have about a year until we can get rid of devalue the shilling. I kind of want Mises. Where's Mises? He probably moved somewhere. Where's Mises? I can't. Oh, right there. I legitimately could not see him. I was like, where is this man? Actually, until we get Mises, I might do emergency civilian factory construction. Why is Germany just not doing anything? Like, do they just not care? Like, usually this goes up to medium and stuff. Yeah, I think we'll do emergency civilian construction, just so that we can get caught up a little bit. And we'll go down this. Otto von Habsburg returns to the federal state of Austria. He spent the majority of his life in exile. First in the Swiss Confederation, later on the island of Madeira and Portugal, Otto von Habsburg has returned to the federal state of Austria. The prince fled the country in 1918 with his emperors, his parents, Emperor Karl I and Empress Zita after the fall of the monarchies and the conclusion of the Great War. His return as the Austrian head of state signifies a distinct change in the political climate in the federal state of Austria. Long live the Habsburg prince. Absolutely. I think after we're done this, we should do another run as playing the I believe the Great War Redux mod or whatever, which puts us in World War I. I think that period of I genuinely think that one's a bit more suitable to my palette. We are not putting this boy in my cabinet, brother. They reacted poorly to us because we're goated. Beyond the obvious demand that we immediately left the band, they also demand we install this dude. They're very adamant and okay. No, we're not doing this. They're gonna demand harder and they're gonna be like, give us 100 political power or we'll beat you up. Wait, they did? Okay. We're fine then. After much back and forth. Alright, that's right. We'll be fine then. So everyone's gonna hate us after we do Legacy of an Empire. And also, they will sometimes push harder, and then it'll be like you lose 100 political power. If a lot of this game is also RNG. You'll get good rolls, you'll get bad rolls. I think the main thing is just play through it. I used to be really... Okay, so I would play the Soviet Union often, just because it's kind of like the main front line. Like when I play the vanilla game, I usually just go along this river and I guard. But I usually do some of the opposition paths. Specifically, I think I do I did the monarchist one once, and it just takes so long to start. I do like the playing of the Civil War because you kind of have something to do in the early phases of the game, but I guess it does make you a little bit weaker. It doesn't show you the alternative focus trees, but there's the center, the left opposition, and the right opposition. I do the left and the right opposition paths, and it's just so RNG based on whether you keep the good generals or not. It's kind of not fun. Ethiopia has capitulated in certain times, and yeah, so that's unfortunate for them. But I think they should be fighting in the Allies as a government in exile, which is a feature of this game. Which if war does come between us and these guys, then we can always rely on the Allies to have us in exile. And improved machine tools, perfecto. Although I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. I wanna preserve us and make sure that we're strong. I think I don't know how you get the other guy, Starhemberg or whatever. Maybe you need the Democratic. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about him anyways. Or really anything. Carrying the crown. For us to earn ourselves the name of a true kingdom, we need to crown a king to lead our country. Current regent will surely make a fine king, and we should prepare for his coronation immediately. Yep, we're gonna make him Archduke of Austria, and we'll boost our non-aligned popularity as well. I'm just waiting for Mises. Or, well, not even just Mises, I don't know. We could station garrisons here and just, preserve our political power until we get that dude. I want to, make sure we're keeping the enemy on the tippy toes. We want to get ourselves strong. We want to be an opposing force. I think we're doing pretty good. And it'll soon be April, so I think after that we might want to switch to devalue the shilling. Republicans are leaning outside as supposed to lose. And I think after that we might want to build some stuff there. Build some millies there and some cities up there. Yeah, so usually you want to build cities until, like, you can't, pretty much. Civilian factories will be, like, your primary source of help. They'll build your industry for you, and you make them to make more, sort of thing. So, I don't know, I think we can just hold off on any of the stuff. I'm also working on a mod for this game. It's going to be set in like, not on Earth. It'll be set on an alien planet. I have the map made and all the stuff, I just need to work on the focuses. I don't know, if there's interest, I will release it. If there isn't, then I won't. And I'll just work on it as a personal passion project. I am Literary Ghost. That's my name. That's probably the spooky ghost that you maybe clicked on this channel. I don't know. Hindenburg incident. Disaster was narrowly averted. Oh, if we went monarchist Germany, then we could have gotten Victoria as the Queen of Germany. Kaiserin Victoria. Yeah, that'd be an interesting path. Perfect. Carrying the crown. Oh, it's May. Did I forget my months? I think I forgot my months. So we can do the Great Austrian Economic Push and bring phonics insurance from the ashes. I think both of these are good. We can do both, actually. But I think we should do rebellious rearmament, possibly. Just so we can start making an army. I don't know, these are both really good. Okay, we'll do the Great Austrian Economic Push, then we'll do rebellious rearmament. That's the path I think I'll take. U.S. Congress passes the Neutrality Act. Okay, buddy. Historical as well, by the way. They're sort of gearing up for war. I think FDR was already engaging, like, U-boats and stuff before they entered. But that's just like a sort of historical thing. We'll do the Great Austrian Economic Push. And we should get Mises soon as well, which will just help us, honestly. Alright, construction 2. If someone knows how to play this, like they know how to play this, and not like what I'm doing, which is just figuring out how to do it, just let me know, like, please. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I'm not a genius. Like, I'm not, like, the king of Hoi4. I suck at this game. I only know how to play it because I have, like, a commitment to just playing over and over until I do something right. I torture myself with Iron Man mode a lot. I think I shouldn't. Where's Mises? Or we could actually go with this dude. No, I don't think so, actually. I think Mises is the best option. Ludwig von Mises. There we go. We're still on civilian economy, by the way. I'm gonna just be so real. We're still on civilian economy. That's horrible. Amelia Earhart disappears. That's unfortunate. Sometimes she'll, like, stay alive, and then she can be the advisor for the U.S. I think a lot of RNG. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is historically accurate, but I was reading something recently which said that I think the U.S. could actually hear her, but she couldn't hear them. Or something like that. Like, when they were over the Bermuda Triangle or whatever. I don't remember, bro. Like, just please. Don't crucify me. But yeah, we should probably discuss a little bit of the channel goals, because you've followed me into nearly an hour. We'll stop soon, I promise. Will we stop soon? Yeah, we will stop soon, I promise. I have to cut out like 2 minutes of footage so that the stuff matches up. Otherwise, bad things happen. Alright, we're gonna go down interwar artillery. You can research them with the things, and I think that's good. I'm just not doing it because I want to keep my political power up because I know what's coming, which is not going to be good. Like it will be good. It's just like it's going to be tough because we're going to need a lot of political power to pull it off. Which is we get Hungary as a puppet, and that also depends on some RNG. Unfortunately, that's just how this game is. Alright, Gongxi to joins. Yeah, sometimes it can be kind of slow. I have a really good PC. I don't know why, like, sometimes it's like that. But, I mean, my PC is also not, like an up-to-date one. It's good as in it's a gaming PC. Like, I built it. It works. It's bad as in it's a PC that's like COVID era, I would say. I'm not particular. I'm a middle class guy, bro. Like, I don't have the money to get the latest graphics cards and whatever. I have my 1660 Ti. You can flame me for it. Like, no. Secret rearmament, rebellious rearmament, perfect. We do demand Hungarian submission, I think. I think that's good. I don't know. I'm like, should we do phonics insurance? I think we demand Hungarian submission, and we go down Royal Alliance, potentially. We could also do this, which will give us a bit of a boost to political power gain. Let's do demand Hungarian submission first, then we'll do phonics insurance, then we'll do join the Allies. Alright, we're gonna do station garrisons in Tyrol. Oh, yeah, we should probably train these guys up. Perfect. I do wonder if there is a USA path for like the United States of Austria. I don't know. I believe that was a proposal by Archduke Franz Ferdinand, but I'm not sure. If there is, you know, that'd be peak. France and Britain lost an alliance, they're preparing for the worst. Interesting, of course. 31, 32, 33. We're getting political power though, which is nice. And I think we're pretty strong. We're in a good position. Oh yeah, worrying reports. Yeah, this is not good. While we have suspected German intents to annex us for a long time, the reports we received just this morning has put things in a new, much more dire perspective. It appears that a conference was recently held, and that during this, Skibbity Man voiced vile ideas of how we should be integrated into their country. Despite our best efforts, it seems that this is a highly confidential mission has reached the masses, and more worryingly, the political parties who seem to think this is a great idea. Troops almost likely undermine our people's will to fight back, should these wretched plans of Skibbity Man come to fruition. Alright, we are going to say this is bad. They're stronger now, unfortunately. Stronger than us, even. That's bad. We're gonna station garrisons in Vorarlberg, and we're gonna wait until we can do the Hungarian submission decisions for anything else. Can I, like, get stronger? Like... Perfect. And that's done. I don't know. I think we might want to join the Allies just so that if worst case scenario happens, we get their support. So I might do that actually. I might do a Royal Alliance, and I'm gonna build up improved relations with Britain. Because last time I did this, like, I was able to clear, like, the sort of, the barrier or whatever. I was able to get through it with ease. And why isn't Budapest available? Can't I influence them? Maybe it takes a day. Alright, there we go. We're gonna... we're gonna do this one, non-aggression pact. And we're gonna save up... Oh boy, oh boy. Recruitment push. Maybe we push these guys out. Yeah, there we go. So our army is stronger, which kind of fixes some of our situation. Yeah, you can sometimes force out the army. They're not like gonna be permanently weaker, but it'll take them some time to catch up. And you have to, I think, manually train them to get them up to speed. So it's not perfect, but in this case, we kind of need to push out divisions, and sort of get more people. Alright, and we'll see if the Hungarians agree. They refused, which is bad. Okay, research. I guess we can do this. This is the most annoying part. I think it's just getting them to agree. That is none of their business. Research this. Oh, I forgot. It's 1938 now. We spent like 2 years in a very weak state. We're getting better, but like, that's slow. And we're gonna up the security around land. Yep. Alright, so, continuing on, because I took a short break because something popped up. Alright, so we're back, And we are upping the security around the High Command, and we're going down the Royal Alliance path. Royal Alliance is done. I think we can do the Phonics insurance thing now. We'll do subjugate them, because we can do that. We'll just set our differences on our side for now. We'll subjugate the Kingdom of Hungary. Perfect. Safety for our time. And we're fine now. So we're safe. We're gonna bring back Phonics insurance just so we can up our political power gain, and then we're gonna go down and subjugate the old lands. And I think I'll call it a day for this video once we figure out if we get Hungary or not. If we do, then perfect. And if we don't, then you know, we'll just have to try again. So let's just wait and see. I believe the reason why there's so many front lines being formed on that border. Perfect! Alright, so this is where I think we'll leave off. Unfortunately, not much fighting, but much of the game is in the preparation phase, and then it's sort of where like it'll stay, and then eventually you'll get to do some fighting. But we are safe from being annexed. We have a Hungarian puppet. We're gonna go for Czechoslovakia first, then we're gonna go for Yugoslavia, and then Romania, potentially. And we should be able to reconstitute Austria-Hungary, get a little bit tougher, and yeah. So thanks for watching, and if this kind of video interests you, then just keep watching, and I should have my my introduction thingy-majiggy done soon as well. So without further ado, goodbye. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, feel free to just let me know how things are going, if this is a good channel, if I need to make changes, or yeah. Alright, bye bye. And if my girlfriend is watching, I hope that the tutorial helped as well, and I look forward to playing with you. Bye bye.